Long before the kingdoms of the world were forgotten, before ancient cities became dust, before rivers changed their courses and mountains wore away beneath the patience of time, there stood a kingdom called Benares. Its ruler was King Brahmadatta. His capital shone beside the sacred river, surrounded by walls of stone, temples crowned with golden banners, and markets overflowing with the wealth of distant lands. Travelers spoke of Benares as a jewel among kingdoms. Its roads were wide. Its granaries were full. Its armies were strong. Yet beyond the reach of kings and ministers, far beyond cultivated fields and human ambition, another kingdom existed. A kingdom without walls, without crowns, without armies. A kingdom ruled not through fear, but through trust. It stood in the northern wilderness near the snowy mountains. There, where the mighty Ganges flowed from the highlands toward the plains, an immense mango forest covered the riverbanks. The trees were ancient. Some had stood so long that their roots seemed part of the earth itself. Their branches stretched outward like green clouds. During spring, blossoms filled the air with sweetness. During summer, golden fruit hung so heavily that branches bent beneath their weight. And among those trees lived 80,000 monkeys. They were not a chaotic tribe, nor were they leaderless wanderers. They followed a king, a monkey unlike any other. The Monkey King. His body was enormous. Legends claimed he stood as tall as a hill when he rose upon his hind legs. His arms possessed the strength to uproot trees. His leap could cross ravines that terrified mountain goats. Yet his greatest power was not his strength. It was his heart. For the Monkey King governed through compassion. Every morning before sunrise, he walked among his people. He checked on the elderly. He watched over the young. He ensured no monkey lacked food during difficult seasons. And because of this, the 80,000 monkeys loved him. Not because they feared punishment, but because they trusted his wisdom. The forest itself seemed to recognize his presence. Birds nested safely near him. Deer drank from streams without fleeing. Even creatures that normally avoided monkeys felt strangely calm around their king. One evening, as the setting sun painted the Ganges in gold and crimson light, the Monkey King sat upon a high branch overlooking the river. The wind carried the scent of ripening fruit. Far below, young monkeys chased one another through the lower branches. Their laughter echoed through the forest. The Monkey King smiled. For many years, peace had blessed the mango grove. No hunters came. No kings claimed ownership. No armies disturbed the wilderness. Yet wisdom often sees danger long before danger arrives. The Monkey King's eyes drifted toward a particular tree near the edge of the river. It was the largest mango tree in the entire forest. Its fruit was famous among the monkeys. Sweeter than honey, more fragrant than flowers, golden as sunlight itself. The king stared at the fruit thoughtfully. Then he called several elder monkeys. When they arrived, he spoke in a serious voice. "Listen carefully." The elders bowed. The Monkey King pointed toward the river-facing branches. "No fruit must ever remain on those branches." The elders looked confused. "Why, Majesty?" The king gazed toward the flowing Ganges. "Because the river connects our forest to the world of men." The wind rustled softly through the leaves. "If even a single fruit falls into the water," he continued, "it may travel beyond the mountains, beyond the forests, and eventually reach human hands." The elder monkeys exchanged uncertain glances. Humans lived far away. The idea seemed impossible. Yet none questioned the wisdom of their king. The Monkey King continued, "Humans desire what is beautiful. They desire what is rare. And when desire awakens..." His voice grew quieter. "It rarely travels alone." The forest fell silent around them. Even the river seemed to listen. One of the elders finally nodded. "We understand." From that day onward, the monkeys carefully removed every mango growing above the river. Before ripening, before falling, before fate could carry it away. Seasons passed. The plan worked perfectly. Year after year, no fruit entered the water. And gradually, many younger monkeys forgot why the rule even existed. Some believed it unnecessary. Others thought the king worried too much. After all, no humans had ever appeared. No danger had ever come. Peace can be deceptive. For when a generation grows up without seeing danger, it often mistakes safety for permanence. One summer evening, after a violent storm swept across the mountains, something changed. Heavy rain battered the forest. Branches shook. Leaves tore free and spiraled into the river. And hidden beneath a cluster of leaves near the very top of the great mango tree, one fruit remained unnoticed. A single mango. Golden. Perfect. Forgotten. No monkey saw it. Not the elders. Not the guards. Not even the Monkey King. The storm passed. Days turned into weeks. The fruit continued growing. Its skin deepened into rich gold. Its fragrance became sweeter than any fruit in the grove. One morning, beneath the weight of its own ripeness, the mango finally detached from its branch. For a brief moment it hung suspended in the air. Then it fell. Down through the leaves. Past the branches. Toward the river below. The Monkey King happened to be crossing another part of the forest when he heard the splash. His heart suddenly tightened. A feeling. A warning. Ancient instincts whispered through his soul. Slowly he turned toward the river. But by then, the golden fruit was already drifting away upon the current, carried by the endless waters of the Ganges. Toward destiny. Toward kings. Toward suffering. And far downstream, unseen by monkeys and mountains alike, fate had already begun moving. The golden mango drifted upon the sacred waters of the Ganges. Day after day, the river carried it farther from the mountains. Past hidden valleys. Past forests untouched by human feet. Past villages where fishermen cast their nets beneath the dawn. The fruit remained intact. Its skin glowed like polished gold beneath the sunlight. Its fragrance lingered sweetly above the water. It seemed less like a fruit and more like a message sent by destiny itself. Far upstream, the Monkey King often stood beside the riverbank. Though he could no longer see the drifting mango, he felt its absence. A quiet unease had settled inside his heart. He could not explain it. Nothing had happened. The forest remained peaceful. The monkeys still laughed among the branches. The mango trees still bent beneath their harvest. And yet, wisdom often senses danger long before danger takes shape. One evening, an elder monkey approached him. "My king," he asked gently, "why do you seem troubled?" The Monkey King gazed at the flowing river. The fruit reached the water. The elder lowered his eyes. "We searched afterward. There were no others." "I know." "Then perhaps nothing will happen." For a long time, the Monkey King remained silent. Then he replied softly, "Perhaps." But the word carried no certainty. Only hope. And hope is often the companion of those who cannot control what comes next. Meanwhile, far downstream, the river continued its journey toward the lands of men. Eventually, the sacred waters reached the kingdom of Benares. King Brahmadatta ruled there with great authority. His palace stood beside magnificent gardens filled with rare flowers, lotus ponds, and fruit trees collected from distant lands. The king loved beauty. He admired fine horses, rare jewels, exotic birds. Anything unusual captured his attention. One morning, while walking through the royal pleasure garden, he noticed something floating in the lotus pond. A golden object drifted gently among the lilies. The king stopped. "What is that?" Servants hurried into the water. Moments later, they returned carrying the strange fruit. The fragrance reached the king before the fruit itself. His eyes widened. Never in all his years had he smelled anything so wonderful. The perfume seemed richer than flowers, sweeter than honey, more refreshing than mountain rain. The king carefully turned the mango in his hands. Its golden skin glowed beneath the morning sun. "What fruit is this?" he asked. None of the attendants knew. None of the gardeners recognized it. Finally, the king summoned his ministers. Soon, wise men from across the court gathered around the mysterious fruit. Some studied its shape. Others examined its scent. Many argued among themselves. At last, one elderly minister stepped forward. He bowed respectfully. "Your Majesty, I believe this is a mango." "A mango?" "Yes." The king frowned. "I have eaten many mangoes before. This one is different." The minister nodded. "Indeed. Because it comes from a place unlike any other." The king leaned forward. "Explain." The old minister pointed north. Beyond the mountains, beyond the settled lands, there exists a vast mango forest beside the upper Ganges. The fruit growing there is said to be extraordinary. The king became fascinated. "How extraordinary?" The minister smiled. "There are stories, Majesty. Stories claiming those fruits surpass all others in sweetness. Some even say the gods themselves would envy their fragrance." The king laughed. "Then we must discover if the stories are true." Immediately, he ordered the fruit to be sliced. The mango was opened. Its golden flesh glistened like sunlight trapped within crystal. Juice flowed across the silver plate. The fragrance filled the entire garden. The king tasted a small piece. The moment it touched his tongue, he froze. Every conversation stopped. Every servant waited. The king closed his eyes. He had never tasted anything like it. The sweetness was perfect. Not overwhelming. Not heavy. Pure. Balanced. Almost impossible to describe. When he finally opened his eyes, only one thought remained. Desire. He wanted more. The ministers exchanged nervous glances. They recognized the expression immediately. For kings are not so different from ordinary men. When desire enters the heart, it often demands satisfaction. The king stood suddenly. "Find this forest." The ministers bowed. "It shall be done." The king paced slowly beside the lotus pond. "I want every detail. Where it is. Who lives there? How many trees grow there?" Nothing escaped his curiosity. Within days, hunters, scouts, woodsmen, and river guides were summoned from across the kingdom. They studied maps, interviewed travelers, questioned fishermen. Eventually, one experienced forest tracker stepped forward. He had spent years wandering near the foothills of the northern mountains. Bowing before the king, he said, "I know the place." The entire court became silent. The king smiled. "Tell me." The tracker pointed toward the distant north. "There is indeed a mango forest. A great one. It stands beside the upper Ganges. And who owns it?" The hunter hesitated, then answered carefully, "No man owns it." The king raised an eyebrow. "Then who does?" The hunter swallowed. "Monkeys." Laughter erupted throughout the court. Several ministers smiled. Even the king laughed. "Monkeys?" "Yes, your majesty." The hunter lowered his head. "Tens of thousands of them." The laughter slowly faded. The king's curiosity only grew stronger. Then the matter becomes simpler. He turned toward his generals. "Surround the forest. Capture the monkeys. Bring me the fruit." The command echoed across the hall. No one objected. After all, they were only monkeys. What threat could monkeys possibly pose to a king? The order spread quickly throughout the kingdom. Archers were assembled. Hunters sharpened their blades. Scouts prepared supplies for the long journey. Meanwhile, far away beside the upper Ganges, the Monkey King sat beneath the evening sky. The wind moved softly through the mango leaves. Birds settled into their nests. The forest appeared peaceful. Yet somewhere beyond the horizon, an army had already begun marching toward them. And destiny, once awakened, was drawing nearer with every passing day. The days passed quietly in the mango forest. Morning sunlight filtered through emerald leaves. The Ganges flowed beside the grove with its endless murmur. Young monkeys played among the branches. Mothers groomed their children. The elderly rested in the shade. To the 80,000 monkeys, life seemed unchanged. Only the Monkey King remained uneasy. Each dawn he climbed to the highest branches and gazed toward the southern horizon. Something invisible was approaching. He could feel it. Not through sight. Not through sound. But through the intuition born from responsibility. A king learns to recognize danger long before others do. One evening, as golden light faded across the river, a young monkey asked him, "Your Majesty, why do you always watch the horizon?" The Monkey King smiled gently. "Because a leader must watch for storms before the rain begins." The young monkey looked upward. But there are no clouds. The Monkey King said nothing. For some storms arrive wearing human faces. Far away, the hunters of Benares continued their march. They crossed rivers, traversed valleys, climbed rocky hills. Guided by experienced trackers, they moved steadily toward the mango forest. The king himself eventually joined the expedition. His curiosity had grown stronger than caution. He wished to see the miraculous grove with his own eyes. After many days of travel, the army finally reached the northern wilderness. The trackers stopped at the edge of a ridge. Below them stretched the legendary forest. Thousands upon thousands of mango trees shimmered beneath the sunlight. The fragrance carried upward on the wind. Even from a distance, it was extraordinary. King Brahmadatta stood speechless. "It truly exists." The old hunter bowed. "Yes, Majesty." The king stared in wonder. The trees appeared endless. Golden fruit glowed among the leaves like hanging lanterns. Birds circled overhead. The river sparkled beside the grove. For a brief moment, the king almost forgot why he had come. The place felt sacred, untouched, ancient. Then he noticed movement. Monkeys. Hundreds. Thousands. Everywhere. Branches swayed beneath their activity. The king's eyes widened. "I have never seen so many." The hunter nodded. The stories were true. For several minutes, the king simply watched. The monkeys seemed happy, peaceful. Many carried fruit. Others cared for infants. Some sat together grooming one another. The sight was strangely beautiful. Yet desire had already taken root. And desire rarely retreats once established. The king turned toward his commanders. "Surround the forest." The officers bowed. Immediately, soldiers moved into position. Archers spread through the trees. Hunters advanced silently. Men formed a great ring around the grove. Hour after hour, the circle tightened. No path remained open. No escape route remained. The trap was complete. The sun had already begun setting when the first monkey noticed something unusual. A young scout monkey froze upon a high branch. Far below, hidden among bushes, he saw a glint of metal. Then another. Then another. His heart raced. Humans. The scout immediately leapt through the canopy. Branch to branch. Tree to tree. Within moments, he reached the Monkey King. "Your Majesty." The king turned. The young monkey was trembling. "Humans." Silence fell. The Monkey King's eyes narrowed. "Where?" "Everywhere." The word struck like thunder. The king immediately climbed toward the highest point in the grove. From there, he surveyed the forest. What he saw confirmed his fears. Men. Hundreds of them. Archers. Hunters. Soldiers. The grove was surrounded. For a long moment, the Monkey King remained perfectly still. Below him, panic was already beginning. The news spread rapidly. "Humans have come. We are trapped. There is no escape." Mothers gathered their children. Young monkeys cried. The elderly looked toward the river helplessly. Fear moved through the forest faster than fire. Soon thousands of monkeys crowded beneath the Monkey King's tree. All eyes turned upward. Waiting. Hoping. Trusting. The king looked upon his people. 80,000 lives. 80,000 souls. All depending upon him. The weight of leadership settled heavily upon his heart. For a brief moment, sorrow touched him. Not for himself. For them. He knew the danger better than anyone. Archers could slaughter countless monkeys before night ended. Panic alone might destroy the troop. The king closed his eyes. Within the darkness behind his eyelids, he saw the fallen mango. The drifting fruit. The river. The chain of causes that had brought this moment into existence. Nothing happens without causes. Nothing appears without conditions. This was simply the flowering of a seed planted long ago. When he opened his eyes again, fear had vanished. Only clarity remained. The crowd below waited anxiously. Finally, the Monkey King spoke. His voice was calm, steady, powerful. "Do not panic." The words rolled through the forest. The monkeys immediately grew quieter. Fear will kill more quickly than arrows. The troop listened carefully. "We still have a path." Hope flickered across thousands of frightened faces. A path? Where? The Monkey King pointed toward the river. The mighty Ganges flowed beside the grove, dark beneath the evening sky. Across the water lay another forest. Unoccupied. Safe. The monkeys stared. The river was enormous. Too wide for ordinary monkeys to cross. The distance seemed impossible. Yet the Monkey King's gaze remained unwavering. One of the elders stepped forward. "Your Majesty, how can we cross?" The king looked toward the far shore. Then he smiled. "I will show you." The monkeys fell silent. Something in his voice made even the wind seem to pause. The Monkey King slowly descended from the tree. His massive body moved through the crowd. Monkeys stepped aside respectfully. Some touched their foreheads to the ground. Others watched with tears already forming in their eyes. Though none understood his plan, many suddenly felt afraid. Not for themselves. For him. The king walked toward the riverbank. The setting sun painted the water red and gold. Across the river, tall trees swayed gently in the evening breeze. The Monkey King studied the distance carefully. Measured it. Calculated it. And deep inside his heart, he already knew what must be done. Leadership often demands sacrifice. But true leadership demands willingness to sacrifice oneself first. The king lifted his eyes toward the opposite shore. Night was approaching. The army was closing in. Time was running out. And somewhere within the gathering darkness, the first steps of a great act of compassion were about to begin. Night gathered over the mango forest. The last rays of sunlight disappeared behind the mountains, leaving the waters of the Ganges dark and vast beneath the evening sky. Along the riverbank, 80,000 monkeys waited. Fear hung over them like a storm cloud. Behind them stood the hunters. Ahead of them roared the river. There seemed to be no escape. Yet the Monkey King remained calm. His great eyes studied the distance between the forest shore and the opposite bank. Every branch, every current, every possibility. The elderly monkeys watched silently. They knew their king well. Whenever danger came, he never acted from panic. Only from wisdom. The Monkey King slowly walked to the edge of a tall tree growing beside the river. Its roots clung to the bank. Its highest branches stretched outward above the water. He climbed upward. Higher. Higher still. Until he stood at the very top. Wind swept through his fur. Below him, thousands of anxious faces looked upward. One young monkey cried out, "Your Majesty! What are you doing?" The Monkey King looked down and smiled. "Saving my people." The simple answer silenced the entire forest. Across the river stood another great tree. Its trunk rose proudly from the opposite shore. The Monkey King had measured the distance carefully. Almost. But not quite. A leap alone would not be enough. Not for ordinary monkeys. Not for the young. Not for the elderly. Not for 80,000 lives. His eyes searched the riverbank. Then he found what he needed. A giant bamboo. Long, strong, flexible, growing near the water's edge. The Monkey King descended swiftly. With tremendous strength, he grasped the bamboo and tore it from the earth. Roots burst apart. Soil scattered through the air. The watching monkeys gasped. Even in their fear, they could not help admiring his power. The Monkey King carried the bamboo toward the river. Then he began measuring. One end against the tree. The other toward the far bank. Carefully. Patiently. Like an engineer building a bridge. The elder monkeys gradually understood. And terror entered their hearts. Because now they saw the plan. The Monkey King tied one end of the bamboo securely around his waist. The knot was firm. Unbreakable. One old monkey stepped forward trembling. "Your Majesty." The Monkey King turned. The elder's eyes were already wet. "Please don't." For a moment, silence filled the riverbank. The Monkey King looked kindly at him. "If not me," he asked softly, "then who?" The elder lowered his head. No answer existed. Because leadership often asks a question that has only one response. The Monkey King climbed once more toward the highest branch. The bamboo trailed behind him. Moonlight had begun appearing upon the river. The water flowed cold and endless beneath him. Far away, hidden among the trees, human soldiers watched. Even King Brahmadatta himself had arrived near the riverbank. The king observed quietly. Curious. Confused. He did not yet understand what he was witnessing. At the top of the tree, the Monkey King took a deep breath. The wind moved around him. The river thundered below. Across the darkness lay salvation. Behind him waited 80,000 lives. He closed his eyes briefly. Not from fear, but from compassion. He thought of the infants, the mothers, the elderly, the countless generations yet unborn. Then he opened his eyes and leapt. The entire forest gasped. The Monkey King flew through the air like a great golden arrow. Far below, the river surged beneath him. The distance seemed impossible. For one terrible moment, it appeared he might fall. Then, his hands caught a branch on the opposite shore. The branch bent violently, but held. The monkeys erupted in cries of relief. Yet the Monkey King did not celebrate. Because the leap had revealed a problem. The bamboo was too short. Only by a small distance. But enough. The far end could not quite reach the opposite tree. The gap remained. The Monkey King hung suspended above the river. Below him flowed certain death. Above him waited the fate of his people. For a brief moment, he understood. The bridge would never reach unless he became part of it. Without hesitation, he wrapped one arm around the branch. Then another. His body stretched backward across the river. The bamboo connected to his waist. His arms held the tree. His body filled the remaining distance. Pain immediately exploded through every muscle. The strain was unbearable. Yet he did not move. The living bridge was complete. The Monkey King looked toward the forest shore. His voice thundered across the river. "Come!" The monkeys stared in disbelief. Many began crying. Others fell to their knees. The king shouted again. "Lives are more important than tears. Cross now." Still they hesitated. The sight was too terrible, too noble, too heartbreaking. The Monkey King's muscles already trembled from the effort. Time was running out. Again he roared, "Go!" At last, the first monkey obeyed. A small infant carried by its mother stepped onto the bamboo. Then another. Then another. The crossing had begun. And beneath the silver light of the rising moon, a king held together a bridge with nothing but his own body. The crossing began beneath the rising moon. Silver light spilled across the surface of the Ganges, turning the great river into a flowing ribbon of liquid light. The living bridge stretched above the water. One end anchored by the bamboo. The other held together by the body of the Monkey King. His hands clung tightly to the branch on the far shore. His waist remained bound to the bamboo behind him. Between those 2 points hung the fate of 80,000 lives. The first monkey stepped forward cautiously. A mother carrying her infant upon her back. Her legs trembled. Not because of the river, not because of the darkness, but because she was about to place her child upon the body of her king. The Monkey King looked at her gently. "Go." The mother bowed her head. Tears fell from her eyes. Then she stepped forward. Her feet touched the bamboo. Then the Monkey King's back. Then the branch beyond. A few moments later she reached safety. The infant never understood how close death had stood beneath them. Soon another monkey crossed. Then another. Then another. The movement slowly became a stream. The stream became a river. And the river became a flood. Thousands upon thousands of monkeys began moving across the bridge. The Monkey King's body absorbed every step, every weight, every impact. At first, he endured it easily. His muscles were powerful. His will was stronger still. But time has a way of turning burdens into suffering. The first 1,000 monkeys crossed. Then 5,000. Then 10,000. The hours passed. The pressure increased. His shoulders began to burn. His arms trembled. The branch above him creaked under the strain. Still he did not move. Below him, the Ganges roared endlessly. Cold water rushed through the darkness. One mistake, one slip, and everything would be lost. On the opposite bank, monkeys gathered in growing numbers. Safe. Alive. Many turned back to watch. Many wept openly. The elder monkeys sat in silence. For they understood something the young did not. The Monkey King was spending his life one moment at a time. A young monkey beside them whispered, "He is stronger than anyone." One elder slowly shook his head. "No." The young monkey looked confused. The elder's voice trembled. "He is not enduring this because he is strong. He is enduring it because he loves us." The word spread quietly among those nearby. And many lowered their heads in shame. For they realized something painful. They had always loved their king. But only now did they begin to understand the depth of his love for them. Meanwhile, on the near shore, King Brahmadatta watched everything. At first, he had been merely curious. Then impressed. Now he stood speechless. The king had seen warriors sacrifice themselves in battle. He had seen soldiers die protecting commanders. He had seen fathers risk their lives for their children. But this was different. The Monkey King was not saving one life, or 10, or 100. He was sacrificing himself for an entire nation. The king turned toward one of his generals. "How many have crossed?" The general stared across the river. "Tens of thousands already." The king remained silent. Never in his life had he witnessed such leadership, such devotion, such selflessness. Something inside him began to change. The desire that had brought him there suddenly seemed smaller. The mangoes, the hunt, the ambition, all of it now felt insignificant beside the sight unfolding before him. The crossing continued. 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. The Monkey King's breathing grew heavier. Pain spread through his entire body. His muscles felt as though they were being torn apart. Yet whenever exhaustion threatened to overwhelm him, he looked toward the monkeys still waiting. And he remained. One elderly monkey approached the bridge. Its fur had turned white with age. Its movements were slow. The Monkey King recognized him. For many years, this monkey had cared for orphaned infants. The old monkey stopped beside him. For a moment, neither spoke. Then the elder bowed deeply. "My king," the Monkey King smiled despite the pain. "Go." Tears filled the old monkey's eyes. "Thank you." The Monkey King shook his head gently. "There is nothing to thank me for. You would have done the same." The elder could not answer, because both of them knew it was not true. There are many who are kind, many who are brave, but very few who can carry 80,000 lives upon their backs. The old monkey crossed slowly. When he reached the far shore, he turned back one final time. The Monkey King was still there, still holding, still enduring, still smiling. Hours continued passing. The moon climbed higher. The river reflected silver light beneath the bridge. The number of waiting monkeys steadily decreased. Eventually, most of the troop had reached safety. Yet the Monkey King's condition grew worse. His arms shook uncontrollably. Blood began appearing where bark cut into his hands. His breathing became ragged. Several monkeys on the far bank cried out, "Your Majesty, please let go." Another shouted, "We are safe now." But the Monkey King only replied, "Not yet." Because he knew something they did not. A leader does not count the lives already saved. A leader worries about the lives still waiting. And somewhere near the back of the enormous troop, one monkey watched everything with very different eyes. While others felt gratitude, he felt envy. While others felt love, he felt resentment. His name would one day become infamous. But on this night, he was simply another monkey standing among the crowd. Watching. Waiting. And deep inside his heart, darkness was already beginning to grow. The moon stood high above the Ganges. Its silver light illuminated the living bridge stretched across the river. The crossing had continued for hours. Most of the 80,000 monkeys had already reached safety. Families reunited upon the far bank. Infants slept against their mothers. The elderly rested beneath the trees. Again and again they turned back toward the river, toward the bridge, toward the king who still remained suspended above death. Every monkey knew the truth. Without him, none of them would be alive. Without him, the river would have become their grave. Yet while gratitude filled thousands of hearts, one heart remained untouched. Near the back of the remaining crowd stood a powerful young monkey. His body was strong. His movements were swift. His intelligence exceeded that of many others. Yet wisdom and intelligence are not the same thing. Inside him lived a poison he had carried for many years. Jealousy. Whenever the troop praised the Monkey King, he felt bitterness. Whenever others spoke of the king's compassion, he felt anger. Whenever he witnessed the love surrounding the king, he felt excluded. At first, the feeling had been small, almost harmless, a passing shadow. But envy grows when it is fed. And over time, the shadow became darkness. Now, as he watched the crossing, that darkness consumed him completely. Around him, monkeys were weeping. Many bowed toward the bridge. Many whispered prayers for their king. The jealous monkey listened, and hated every word. Why? Why should everyone love him? Why should everyone admire him? Why must he always stand above us? The questions repeated endlessly inside his mind. He no longer saw the king's sacrifice. He no longer saw compassion. He saw only something unbearable, greatness. And there is nothing envy hates more than genuine greatness. Nearby, an old monkey wiped tears from his eyes. Our king is the noblest being I have ever known. Several others nodded. The jealous monkey clenched his fists. The praise felt like fire. Another monkey whispered, "Future generations will remember this night forever." The jealous monkey lowered his gaze. Future generations. The word struck deeply. Because he understood something painful. History remembers heroes. It forgets the jealous. The realization filled him with rage. As the final groups approached the bridge, his thoughts became darker. What if the king failed? What if the bridge broke? What if the great Monkey King died? The thought should have horrified him. Instead, it brought a terrible sense of satisfaction. Far above the river, the Monkey King continued holding the bridge together. Pain now consumed every part of his body. His shoulders felt as though they were being torn from their sockets. His arms had gone numb. Blood ran from his hands. His breathing was shallow. Yet every time another monkey crossed safely, he felt peace. Because the purpose of suffering changes everything. Pain endured for oneself becomes torment. Pain endured for others becomes sacrifice. The Monkey King understood this. That understanding gave him strength beyond muscle. The crossing continued. Soon only a few hundred monkeys remained. Then only dozens. At last, only a handful were left. The end was near. On the opposite shore, King Brahmadatta watched in stunned silence. The king's eyes never left the Monkey King. Something profound had awakened within him. Respect. Not for power. Not for wealth. But for virtue. He turned toward his ministers. Remember this night. The ministers nodded silently. None would ever forget. The final monkeys began crossing. One by one. Slowly. Carefully. The bridge trembled beneath each movement. The Monkey King's vision blurred. The world seemed distant. But he continued. Then finally, only one monkey remained. The jealous one. The future Devdatta. The crowd parted as he approached the bridge. The river roared below. Moonlight shimmered upon the water. The Monkey King looked toward him. Despite everything, his voice remained kind. Come. No accusation. No suspicion, only kindness. For the king saw goodness in others even when they could not see it in themselves. The jealous monkey stared back. And for a brief moment, doubt touched his heart. The king had never harmed him. Never insulted him. Never excluded him. In truth, the king had shown him the same compassion given to everyone else. For one brief instant, he could still choose differently. He could cross, bow, and let the darkness die. But envy rarely releases its victims easily. The poisonous thoughts returned. Look at him. Still noble. Still admired. Still loved. The jealous monkey felt hatred surge through him. His eyes hardened. The Monkey King simply smiled. Cross safely. Those words became the final opportunity for kindness. And the jealous monkey rejected it. Slowly, he stepped onto the bamboo. The bridge creaked. The Monkey King tightened his grip. Only one life remained to save. Only one. Yet sometimes the greatest dangers arrive last. And sometimes the deepest wounds come not from enemies, but from those we once called our own. The jealous monkey moved forward. Closer. Closer. Toward the center of the bridge, toward the back of the Monkey King. And beneath the silent moon, destiny waited. The night had grown silent. Even the river seemed quieter now, as though the world itself were holding its breath. Only one monkey remained on the bridge. Only one life stood between the Monkey King and the completion of his sacrifice. The jealous monkey moved slowly forward. The bamboo swayed gently beneath his feet. Moonlight shimmered across the flowing Ganges below. On both riverbanks, thousands of eyes watched. The rescued monkeys, the soldiers, the hunters, even King Brahmadatta himself. None of them realized what was unfolding inside the heart of the final monkey. Only he knew, and perhaps destiny. The Monkey King felt the bamboo shift. The final monkey was approaching. A faint sense of relief appeared within him. Soon it would be over. Soon every member of the troop would be safe. Soon he could finally release his grip. The pain in his body had become unimaginable. His shoulders burned like fire. His spine felt as though it would snap at any moment. His muscles had long since passed exhaustion. Only determination kept him alive. Yet even now, his thoughts remained with others. Not with himself. Not with his suffering. Only with the safety of his people. The jealous monkey continued forward. Each step brought him closer. Closer to the Monkey King. Closer to the moment he had imagined countless times. For years he had envied the king. Years of resentment. Years of bitterness. Years spent comparing himself to someone he could never become. And now the object of that envy lay helpless beneath him. Vulnerable. Exposed. Unable to defend himself. The dark voice inside his heart whispered, "Now. No one will stop you. No one will know." The monkey looked downward. The Monkey King's broad back stretched beneath him. Holding together the bridge. Holding together the future of the troop. A terrible smile appeared briefly upon the jealous monkey's face. On the opposite bank, an elderly monkey noticed something strange. The final monkey was moving differently. Too slowly. Too deliberately. The elder frowned. A feeling of dread entered his heart. "No," he whispered. But it was too late. The jealous monkey reached the center of the bridge. He stopped. The Monkey King spoke gently without turning around. "Keep moving." The kindness in that voice only deepened the hatred. The jealous monkey clenched his teeth. Then he jumped, not forward, downward, directly onto the Monkey King's back. With all his strength, with all his weight, with all the envy he had carried for years. The impact exploded through the night. Crack. The sound echoed across the river. A sound no living creature could mistake. bone. Breaking. The Monkey King's body jerked violently. Agony unlike anything he had ever known surged through him. His spine shattered. The force tore through his chest. Blood filled his mouth. For a brief instant, darkness consumed his vision. On the riverbanks, cries of horror erupted. Thousands of monkeys screamed. The elder monkeys collapsed in despair. Even the soldiers gasped. King Brahmadatta rose to his feet. What happened? The answer was obvious. Something terrible. Something unforgivable. The jealous monkey landed upon the Monkey King's broken back. For one heartbeat, he felt triumph. Victory. Satisfaction. Then he saw something unexpected. The Monkey King had not released the branch. Despite the shattered spine. Despite the unbearable pain. Despite death itself approaching. The bridge still held. The Monkey King's hands remained locked around the tree. His body still stretched across the gap. The jealous monkey stared in disbelief. Why? Why are you still holding on? The Monkey King coughed blood. Pain radiated through every nerve. He knew the truth immediately. His body was broken. He would never survive. Yet one thing still mattered. One life remained on the bridge. The jealous monkey. The very monkey who had betrayed him. The Monkey King looked upward through blurred vision. And spoke softly, "Cross safely." The word struck harder than any punishment. The jealous monkey froze. For a moment, he could not breathe. Not anger. Not accusation. Not revenge. Only concern. Only compassion. Even now. Even after betrayal. The Monkey King still wished for his safety. Something cracked inside the jealous monkey's heart. Not his body. His heart. For the first time, he saw himself clearly. Saw the ugliness. Saw the hatred. Saw the smallness of the envy he had protected for so many years. Shame flooded through him. But some realizations arrived too late. Slowly, trembling, he crossed the remainder of the bridge. Not speaking. Not looking back. Unable to bear the gaze of the king he had betrayed. The moment he reached safety, the final crossing was complete. All 80,000 monkeys had survived. Every single one. The Monkey King finally allowed himself a breath. The mission was finished. The troop was safe. Nothing else mattered. Then, for the first time since the crossing began, his strength started to leave him. The final monkey had crossed. The bridge had fulfilled its purpose. All 80,000 monkeys now stood safely upon the far shore. The mission was complete. For a few moments, silence covered both sides of the river. Even the wind seemed unwilling to disturb what had just occurred. The Monkey King still hung suspended above the Ganges. His hands remained wrapped around the branch. His body trembled uncontrollably. Blood dripped from his mouth and hands into the rushing river below. The crossing was over. But the cost had finally revealed itself. The shattered spine, the torn muscles, the crushed organs, the endless strain. His body had become a battlefield. Yet somehow he still lived. On the opposite bank, thousands of monkeys had gathered. No one celebrated. No one cheered. The joy of survival had been swallowed by grief. Many wept openly. Others bowed toward the bridge. The elder monkeys sat with lowered heads, unable to watch, unable to look away. The jealous monkey stood among them, alone, silent, broken by shame. No one knew what he had done. Not yet. But he knew. And that knowledge weighed heavier than any punishment. Meanwhile, on the original riverbank, King Brahmadatta remained frozen. His eyes never left the Monkey King. The king had come seeking fruit, seeking possession, seeking pleasure. Instead, he had witnessed something far greater than anything he could have imagined. A being willing to die for others. Not because of duty, not because of reward, but because of compassion. The king felt a strange tightness in his chest, a feeling unfamiliar to him. Humility. The Monkey King had no palace, no throne, no army. Yet at that moment, he seemed more royal than any human monarch. King Brahmadatta slowly turned toward his generals. "Lower your bows." The order shocked them. "Your Majesty." Now. The command left no room for argument. One by one, archers lowered their weapons. The hunters stepped back. The king continued, "No monkey is to be harmed." The forest seemed to exhale. For the first time since the army arrived, death no longer hovered over the grove. Then the king pointed toward the bridge. "We must save him." The generals exchanged confused glances. Save him? The monkey? The very creature they had come to capture? Yet none dared question the king. Several soldiers hurried forward. Ropes were brought. Ladders assembled. The king himself walked closer to the riverbank. Above him, the Monkey King's breathing had become shallow. Each breath seemed difficult, painful, temporary. Yet his eyes remained calm, as though he had already accepted what was coming. The soldiers carefully climbed toward him. They moved slowly, afraid that one mistake might send him plunging into the river. Eventually they reached him. One soldier whispered, "Easy, easy." Another carefully secured ropes around the branch. The operation took a long time. Every movement required patience. Every knot required precision. At last, the Monkey King's weight was safely supported. The branch was cut. The bridge finally separated. For the first time in hours, the Monkey King's body was free. Yet freedom brought no relief. The moment tension released from his muscles, agony surged through him. His body collapsed. The soldiers carefully lowered him toward the ground. King Brahmadatta stepped forward immediately. And for the first time, king and monkey stood face to face. The sight broke the king's heart. The Monkey King's injuries were terrible. His fur was stained with blood. His limbs trembled weakly. His chest rose and fell unevenly. And yet, his eyes remained gentle. The king knelt beside him. A human king kneeling before a monkey. The soldiers stared in astonishment. But none laughed. Because everyone present understood. They were witnessing greatness. King Brahmadatta spoke softly. "Bring blankets." Immediately servants obeyed. Rich embroidered cloths were wrapped around the Monkey King. "Bring oil." Healing oils were applied carefully. "Bring honey water." A golden cup was brought forward. The king personally lifted it to the Monkey King's lips. The Monkey King drank a little, then rested. For several moments neither spoke. The river flowed quietly nearby. The moon shone above them. Finally, the king asked, "Why?" The Monkey King opened his eyes. The king's voice trembled. "You could have saved yourself. You could have escaped. You could have abandoned them." The Monkey King listened. Then a faint smile appeared. A tired smile. But a genuine one. "They trusted me." The king fell silent. The Monkey King continued, "A leader who abandons those who depend on him is no leader at all." The words entered the king's heart like arrows. Because he suddenly realized how often rulers speak of responsibility, without truly carrying it. The Monkey King had not merely spoken of leadership. He had embodied it. The king bowed his head. For perhaps the first time in his life, he felt like a student. And the dying monkey before him was the teacher. The night deepened around the banks of the Ganges. The great army of Benares had become strangely quiet. Archers stood with lowered bows. Hunters sat silently beside their extinguished campfires. Even the restless horses seemed calmer. No one wished to disturb the conversation unfolding beneath the moonlight. The Monkey King lay upon layers of embroidered blankets. The fragrance of medicinal oils lingered in the air. Nearby, servants held lanterns that cast soft golden light across the riverbank. King Brahmadatta remained beside him. Not upon a throne. Not beneath a royal canopy, but sitting upon the earth. Listening. Waiting. Learning. Across the river, 80,000 monkeys watched from the darkness. They knew the truth. Their king was dying. The realization moved through the troop like a silent wind. Some cried quietly. Others prayed. Many simply stared, trying to memorize every moment, trying to hold on to the presence of the one who had protected them all their lives. The Monkey King's breathing had become weaker. Yet his eyes remained bright. Not with physical strength, but with understanding, the kind of understanding that often appears only near the end of life. King Brahmadatta finally spoke. His voice was soft, respectful. "My friend." The title surprised many who heard it. A king calling a monkey his friend. Yet none found it strange. Not anymore. The Monkey King looked toward him. The king hesitated, then asked the question that had been growing inside him since witnessing the crossing. How does one become a ruler worthy of loyalty? The river flowed quietly nearby. For several moments, the Monkey King remained silent, gathering strength. Then he answered, "A ruler must love those he leads more than he loves himself." The words settled into the night. The king listened carefully. The Monkey King continued, "Many desire power. Few desire responsibility." A cool breeze moved through the trees. Power seeks to take. Responsibility seeks to give. The king lowered his eyes. Each sentence felt uncomfortably true. For years he had ruled through law, through command, through authority. Yet how often had he truly placed the needs of his people before his own desires? The Monkey King's voice grew weaker, but his wisdom seemed only to grow stronger. A kingdom is not land. It is not treasure. It is not armies. The king looked up. Then what is it? The Monkey King smiled faintly. It is people. The answer was simple, yet profound. The king felt something shift inside him. All his life he had protected borders, collected taxes, expanded influence. But perhaps he had forgotten the most important truth. A ruler does not serve a kingdom. A ruler serves the people who create it. The Monkey King rested briefly. His breathing became labored. The king offered more honey water. The Monkey King drank a small amount. Then continued. Protect the weak. Care for the elderly. Feed the hungry. Listen before judging. Each sentence emerged slowly, painfully, yet with complete clarity. The king nodded after every word, not as a monarch receiving advice, but as a student receiving instruction. Then the Monkey King's gaze shifted toward the far bank, toward his people. A faint smile touched his lips. They taught me leadership. The king looked surprised. You taught them. The Monkey King gently shook his head. No. Leadership is not something one gives, it is something others allow. The king fell silent. Again the Monkey King revealed wisdom hidden beneath simplicity. No ruler creates loyalty. Loyalty is earned, not demanded. The night grew colder. The Monkey King's body trembled. The king noticed. A deep sadness entered his heart. He realized there was little time left. Then another question arose. One final question. The king spoke carefully. Among your people, there was one who harmed you. The Monkey King's eyes remained calm. He knew immediately whom the king meant. The jealous monkey. The future Devdatta. The king's voice grew heavier. Do you hate him? The question lingered in the darkness. Many monkeys listening from across the river leaned forward, waiting. The answer mattered. Because if anyone had reason to hate, it was the Monkey King. The one betrayed. The one broken. The one dying. For a long moment, the Monkey King said nothing. Then he smiled. A peaceful smile. No. The king stared. No. The Monkey King's eyes reflected the moonlight. Hatred is another chain. The river murmured beside them. If I carry it, I remain trapped. The king's throat tightened. The Monkey King continued, he suffers more from his hatred than I suffer from his actions. Across the river, hidden among the troop, the jealous monkey heard those words, and began to weep. Not from fear, not from punishment, but from shame. For the first time in his life, he understood the true poverty of envy. The Monkey King's breathing slowed. His strength faded further. Yet his final lesson remained unfinished. He looked directly into the eyes of King Brahmadatta and spoke one last teaching. Compassion is the highest form of strength. The king felt tears gathering. The Monkey King continued, anyone can harm. Few can protect. Anyone can hate. Few can forgive. The night became completely still. Even the river seemed to pause. The Monkey King's voice dropped to a whisper. Choose compassion. Again and again. Even when it is difficult. Those words drifted into the darkness. Into the hearts of monkeys. Into the hearts of men. Into history itself. And everyone present knew they were listening to a final teaching. The moon had begun its slow descent toward the western horizon. Night was nearing its end. The great river flowed quietly beside the gathering of kings, soldiers, and monkeys. No one spoke. No one wished to interrupt the final moments of a life that had become greater than itself. The Monkey King rested upon the blankets. His breathing was faint now. Each breath seemed lighter than the one before. Yet peace surrounded him. Not the peace of exhaustion. Not the peace of surrender. But the peace of a being who had completed his purpose. Across the river, 80,000 monkeys remained gathered beneath the trees. No one slept. No one moved. Their eyes remained fixed upon the far bank. Upon the king who had carried them across death. Many remembered their first meeting with him. Some remembered being protected during storms. Others remembered being fed during famine. The elderly remembered decades of kindness. The young remembered only safety. For many of them, life without the Monkey King seemed impossible to imagine. Yet all things that arise must eventually pass away. Even the greatest among us. King Brahmadatta sat beside him. The lessons of the night still echoed through his mind. Compassion is strength. Leadership is service. Hatred is a chain. Again and again those teachings returned. The king realized something profound. He had come searching for extraordinary fruit. Instead, he had discovered extraordinary wisdom. And wisdom was far more valuable. A cool wind moved across the riverbank. The first signs of dawn appeared in the eastern sky. Dark blue softened into silver. Silver softened into gold. The Monkey King slowly opened his eyes one final time. His gaze moved across the river, across the forest, across the faces gathered around him. There was no fear, no regret, only love. The king leaned closer. "My friend." The Monkey King looked toward him. King Brahmadatta's voice trembled. "I will remember." The Monkey King smiled faintly. For a moment, neither needed more words. Some promises do not require witnesses. Then the Monkey King's eyes drifted toward the opposite bank, toward his people. A mother monkey held her child close. An elderly monkey bowed deeply. Thousands of faces gazed back at him. The Monkey King's lips moved gently. Though his voice was almost gone, many later claimed they heard the words, "Take care of one another." Perhaps he spoke them. Perhaps they were spoken only in the hearts of those who loved him. No one could ever be certain. Then silence returned. The eastern horizon brightened. Birdsong slowly began among the trees. The world was awakening. And as the first ray of sunlight touched the waters of the Ganges, the Monkey King's final breath left him. Quietly, peacefully, without struggle, without fear. The river continued flowing. The wind continued blowing. The sun continued rising. Yet something immeasurable had departed from the world. For a long time, no one moved. The king lowered his head. The soldiers stood in silence. Across the river, grief swept through the troop. Some monkeys cried aloud. Others simply sat staring. The loss felt too large for tears alone. Finally, King Brahmadatta rose. His face was wet. Whether from tears or morning dew, none could say. The king looked toward his ministers. "Prepare the funeral." His voice carried through the stillness. Not as one would honor a beast. The ministers listened carefully. But as one would honor a great king, and so it was done. The Monkey King's body was wrapped in the finest cloth. A funeral pyre was built from 100 cartloads of fragrant wood. Monks, nobles, soldiers, and villagers gathered together. The entire kingdom mourned. When the sacred fire rose into the sky, many wept openly. Not because a monkey had died, but because goodness had departed. After the cremation, the king personally collected the sacred relics. A magnificent stupa was constructed beside the river. There the relics were enshrined. The king issued a royal decree, "Let future generations remember. Let this place be honored forever." Years passed. Then decades. Then centuries. The mango grove continued growing. The river continued flowing. Kingdoms rose and fell. But the story remained. Travelers carried it across mountains. Teachers shared it with students. Parents told it to children. And long after names were forgotten, one truth endured: true leadership is not measured by power. It is measured by sacrifice. True greatness is not found in those who rule others. It is found in those who serve others. And true compassion shines brightest when it is offered even to those who cause us pain. Thus ended the life of the Monkey King. But his example never ended. For every act of kindness, every sacrifice made for others, every moment when someone chooses compassion over selfishness, the spirit of that ancient king lives again. And perhaps, if we listen closely enough, we can still hear the echo of his final teaching carried upon the waters of the eternal Ganges: choose compassion. Again and again. Choose compassion.